Hello everyone, my name is Norim Atiaras. I am TGT Social Science at Kendra Vidyalaya Imphal number 2. Today I am going to teach the second part of the class 7 history chapter number 1, and the name of the chapter is Tracing Changes Through a Thousand Years. So let's start the chapter. So I'm going to start from the one topic, that is new social and a political group. So we are studying in class 7, okay, we are going to study medieval India, medieval period, okay. So in this medieval period, new social and a political group emerged in India, and the medieval period in India is going to be from the 8th century to 18th century, okay. It's going to be from 8th to 18th century, okay. That means during this 1000 year, okay, new social and a political group emerged in India. So let's see what are they. So first of all, the first point saying that at different moment in this period, new technology make their appearance. That means during this period from the 8th century to the 18th century in India, okay, new technology emerged in India. So let's see what are that technology. They are just giving the heading like that: light Persian wheel in irrigation, the spinning wheel in weaving, and the firearm in combat. Okay, so these are some technology that will come off in India during this medieval period. Okay, this three. Then new food and a beverage arrive in the subcontinent. These are the new food that arrive during this medieval period in India, and that food are the potato, corn, chilies, tea, and the coffee. So this thing also arrives in India during the medieval period. Then another thing, that third point, that is this was also a period of the great mobility. That means large number of the people moved from one place to another place during this period, during the days from 8th century to the 18th century. Then again, group of people travel long distance in search of opportunity, and one group of the people who became important in this period were the Rajput, a name derived from the Rajputra, the son of the ruler. Okay, so lot of the people, they travel long distance in search of the opportunity, and one group who became very important during the medieval period, in the beginning of medieval period, okay, in the beginning of medieval period, and they are the what? Rajput. These people are very important in India. They are very powerful during that time, this Rajput. And the Rajput is the what? Rajput is derived from the Rajputra, which means the what? The son of ruler. But between the 8th and the 14th century, okay, that is from the 8th to 14th century, the term was applied more generally to a group of the warrior who claimed Kshatriya caste status. That means from 8th century to 18th century, okay, during this period, Rajput was been more associated with the group, okay, those group who belongs to the who said that they are the warrior, and they claim that they belong to the Kshatriya caste. Then the last point, other group of the people such as Marathas, Sikh, Jat, Ahom, and the Khayathas, a caste of the scribe and a secretary, also used the opportunities of the age to become a politically important. So during this medieval period, okay, not only the Rajput, other groups that include the Marathas, Sikh, Jat, Ahom, they also take the opportunity, okay, to become a politically important group during the medieval period in India. Next topic is the Jati. So what is the meaning of Jati? Let's see. That is, the Indian philosophy Jati describe any group of things that have a generic characteristic in common. That means a group of people. They here what happened in the during the time of the medieval period is that different people, they're going to form the group. Okay, and some they are forming the group on the basis that they have some similarity, that some common. Okay, and that group we're going to be described as a what? Jati. So the next point, that is, as society become more differentiated, people were grouped into the Jati or the subcaste, and rank on the basis of their background and their occupation. So the same thing, that is, here in during the time of the medieval period, this group, they're going to differentiate into the different, okay, different Jati, okay, or maybe we can say as a subcaste. And when they're going to form this Jati, they also going to be make the rank. Say suppose one people, they form the Jati, and they say that their group is the upper caste, Then the another one, they say that they are you form the jati, but your group is the what, lower caste. So like that they're going to form the rank. Then the rank are not fixed permanently and varied according to the power, influence, and the resource controlled by the member of the jati. So when after forming the jati, they're going to make the rank, but this rank is not permanent. Suppose the group that early in the 10 year, they say past 10 year, they are in the lower caste group, but now they started to gain a more resource and they're becoming more powerful. Now they're going to be overtake that previous one, or the overtake that upper caste, okay, and they're going to become the more important. So the rank is not fixed. Maybe one maybe become in the upper rank, another one maybe become in the lower rank in the future. So like that all the group of, or we can say the jati, that is the group of the people, they're going to make the rank, but the rank is not permanent. Then the last one, the status of the same jati could vary from the area to area. That means suppose a one group of that jati, they get a very important or a political important in the one area, but when they go to the another area, suppose go to that another place, then they might be not get the same important. They might be even include, or this one excluded in that lower rank group. Okay, so the rank of these people is going to be again differentiate, or it's going to be different from place to place. And one important thing is that the rule and the regulation framed by the jati. So each group or each jati, they're going to frame their rule and regulation, and every people that living or that included in that jati has to obey that rule and regulation. So let's see here. Jati frame their own rule and regulation to manage the conduct of their member. So they're going to frame their own rule and regulation. These regulations were enforced by the assembly of elder. The elder people or elder member of that jati going to frame that rule and regulation. Described in some area as the jati panchayat. Okay, the elder people that forming that rule and regulation, they call them as the jati panchayat. Jati were also required to follow the rule of their village. They have to obey. Every people has to obey that rule and regulation. Several villages were governed by the chieftain, and together they were only one small unit of the state. Here the important thing is that suppose there is a one village here, okay, another village is here, then another village, the third village is here. These all three villages can be ruled by only one leader. It can be happen, okay, and that leader we going to be called as the what? That is the chieftain. Okay. Next, region and the empire. So during this medieval period in India, okay, various regions are ruled by the various king, and some important king they emerge, or the important king come up in India during this medieval period. So let's see some introduction about that. Last state, first point, last state like those of the Chola, Tughlaq or Mughal encompass many regions. Sultan Jayauddin Babur, according to the Sanskrit Prasati, the Delhi Sultan Jayauddin Babur was the ruler of the vast empire that stretched from the Bengal in the east to Ghazi in the Afghanistan in the west, and include all the South India. So during the medieval period, one important sultan, if we have to talk, okay, then is going to be Sultan Jayauddin Babur. Okay, and he ruled from the 1266 to the 1283, and his rule include, okay, his empire include from the Bengal to Afghanistan and all the southern state during that time. Okay, he is a very powerful king. Then people of the different region, Gunda, Andhra, Kerala, then Karnataka, Maharashtra and Gujarat apparently freed before his army. That means this area, okay, this area, there is Gunda, Andhra, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra and Gujarat. They almost surrender. They have a fear about this Sultan Jayauddin Babur during that time. Then another topic, okay, that is very important during the medieval period in India is the language and the region. Okay, all this region they speak the different language. Okay, different region they speak a different language during that time. So let's see one thing, that is in the 1318. Okay, it's going to be 1318, the poet Amir Khusro noted that there was a different language in the different region of this land. Okay, so Amir said that there are different languages speak in the different region during the medieval period, like Sindhi, this is one language, Lahori, Kashmiri used to be speak in Kashmir region. Then the Devshamudri, it was been speak in the southern Karnataka, Telangani in Andhra Pradesh, Gujarati in Gujarat, Marwari in Tamil Nadu, Gauri in Bengal, Awadhi in the Uttar Pradesh area, then Hindawi in the area around the Delhi. Okay. Then another thing that is the Amir Khusro's went on to explain that in contrast to this language, there was a Sanskrit. Okay, Sanskrit was also be an important language during that time, which did not belong to any region. It was an old language and common people do not know it, only the Brahmanas do. Okay, Sanskrit is an old language and there is no specific area that is okay, it's not there that where only the Sanskrit is speak. Okay, it is we cannot say that this area only speak the Sanskrit, but the thing is that it is common language, common people, it is a old language, but the common people did not know how to did not know that this language is Sanskrit, only the Brahman know it. Okay, then the last one, that is the Pan resonant ampere. Now let's see what is the meaning of the Pan resonant ampere. Pan resonant ampere is a nation which influences other nation action completely or partially. It also refers to an empire which stretches over many diverse regions, like the Mughal Empire or the Khilji, etc. Okay, suppose there is a one king, the one area that is ruled by the one king, but the thing is that another one, okay, another empire is here, okay, very strong, where the king is very strong. So suppose let's take the example of the Mughal Empire. Okay, it is ruled by the Mughal Empire. And what they are doing is that they are influencing this small kingdom, small area. Okay, the small area that is ruled by the one king, and they are influencing completely, even in the culture or maybe in the military or maybe in the political. Okay, that we going to be called as a Pan resonant empire. So here we have finished the second part. So let's see that homework. First question, list some of the technological chains associated with this period. Okay, there are three technological chains associated with the medieval India. So you just read that part, and the answer is very easy, I think. Then the second question, how were the influence of the Jati regulated? So you have to write that part of the rule and regulation framed by the Jati. Okay, so regarding the rule and regulation, you have to write, at least you have to write 3 points. Then the next one, what does the term Pan resonant ampere mean? So we have already we have done this one also, Pan resonant ampere. You have to write that definition. Okay, and you can give the example also. Thank you.